Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nisha. For those who are new, thanks for checking in. So for this video, I literally recorded on a nice backdrop and had steady hands going, but then I decided that I'm going to do it over, and the final cut is literally in my bed with me talking casually to you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. I took the advice of my best friend and I had a cocktail, which I call a quarantini because of the essential ingredients that are included. I will share that as a bonus video. So I hope you tune into both. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you take some good notes, and see you around the next time. So we're all in quarantine and we're all still trying to get through this. Today I just decided get up, get some makeup on, forgive my quarantine brows, the show must go on. And just kind of discuss a topic that I had on my mind for quite a while. And this has to do with design mistakes, or I don't necessarily like to say mistake, because in your home, you can do as you please. It's your home, it's your personal space. However, it's much like fashion. If there's just certain things that are being observed and you're being mindful of, it can just create a better look and, a more polished look. So these are just a few things that like I've said, observed over time. And, I just hope that I can share tips with you that you can incorporate into your home, because the entire point of it is to just have a better home space, something that's more functional, more beautiful, more stimulating, a space that you love. To me, home is the one space on earth that I have total control over. It is my safe space. It's where I want to, you know, just be myself and be at ease. So I therefore take great interest and pride in it. So, and that's just what I want to pass off to you guys, to have a space that works better for yourself, and especially in times like these when you're stuck at home. So whether it's a pandemic or a pandemic not, you should want to be at home because you love your space, the one space that you've personally created for yourself. So, mention number one, and I must say that they're not in any particular order, and they're not necessarily rules. Some of them are just pet peeves of mine. But I'll start off with rule number one. And rule number one in design is scale. You must have the right scale. You must be mindful of the space and the dimensions that you're inputting items into. So, you know, the dimensions of your rooms are the one things that you cannot change. I mean, you can knock out walls if you want to, but who's really going to go through all of that if you don't necessarily have to, if you're not going through a major renovation? And also, if you're renting, it's just not an option. So you're working with the space of the room. That's it. And when you're buying items, be mindful of that. If you put something too small, it's going to be swallowed and it's going to look like you didn't even try. If you put something too large, then it lessens the functionality of the space and makes, it swallows the space, and it kind of, you can't move around, you can't put other items. It just becomes a pain. And off the topic of scale, number two, I would say, is height. For the items that are going to be positioned on walls or vertically, be mindful of the height that they're placed at. I've realized a lot of people tend to hang things too high up into the ceiling. Now, I don't know if you wanted to get it out of the kids' way or what it is, but the average person height is, I don't know. I really don't know the average person's height, but make sure it's at eye level, where someone of an average height can see it without having to look up and breaking their necks. Especially with television. I never understood how come people put television so high. How do you see it? It's awkward to be watching TV with your neck tilted like this. I just don't get it. You need to consider that chances are, if you're watching a television, you're seated. That's number one. So you want to have it at comfortable seating range. And you're not going to be getting into pain and ruin your neck trying to watch a television. So please be mindful of the height that you place things at. What's next? Let's see. Let's move on to something called trend. Be careful of being too trendy, because especially with larger, more expensive purchases, you want to ensure that when that trend goes out of style next week, you can still live with it. Magazines and commercials are made to sell you the latest of items. So you therefore want to ensure that, what, I can live with this for a while. So think about timelessness when you're making purchases of significant amount, especially. You do not want to just go with every trend that you see. It end up costing you a lot of pain and money. So besides trend, it's another thing with being too generic. So this is number 4. You know, if I see a IKEA ad without even seeing the word IKEA on the ad, I kind of know it's IKEA. If I see a CB2 or a Made, which is a UK store that I really like a lot for my US audience, I know, I kind of identify with their brand and with their look. I know who they are. When someone walks into your home, they should identify your home with you, not just any old body, So have that look, curate your space. And if you're not going to get it in one shop, you're not going to get it in one anything. Make sure your space identifies with yourself and family. Number 5, my friends, is cutting corners. Now, you can afford as much as your budget allows you. And I'm not telling you to go and break the bank for anything in particular, but I see this all the time and it irritates me. People will spend a lot of money on their wardrobe, on their makeup. You're buying red bottoms, you're buying everything, and you're going to wear that pair of shoe once in a blue moon. That sofa or that bed that you're going to sleep on every night, sit on every day, your kids are going to jump in it, spills are going to be made on it. It's going to go through a lot. So you want to ensure that it lasts. It can run the test of a family and abuse and everything it's going to get. You want to ensure, and not, it doesn't have to be expensive for that to be the case, but you want to ensure that you've bought something of good structure, of good form, something that will endure, good materials. So do your research. You can find affordable things, even if you got to buy it secondhand, because there are a lot of older furniture from thrift shops or vintage, wherever you want to get it from, that actually are well made, really well designed, and can fit into just about any decor styles. So you don't necessarily got to go cheap, and you don't have to go to the first bargain, store to get everything. Put as much pride into your home as you do into your personal self and your style. And next up is clutter. Now, you know, you want to make your space nice. You're going to go out, you want to see a million things. Does not mean you have to buy those million things, because guess what? They pile up. They become visual clutter, and visual clutter to me become exhausting, and it just makes your space, your mind, everything it just becomes a mumble jumble in a sense. So do avoid it, avoid too much going on. It's I get it, because even when you clean up, sometimes when there's just too much going on, it just cannot look clean because it's just too much. This is too much. So try to keep it as clean as possible. And I love an eclectic space. I love a well curated space, and with personality and different things going on, but there's a thin line, so you got to be careful of that. And you got to know the space that you're working with, how much it can itself uphold. There are some spaces, naturally, it has a lot of character to itself, a lot of woodwork and, original details, and so much going on for it. So if you were to pile on a bunch of decorative items on top of that, it just drowns those beautiful features out, and then everything looks cluttered and it just kills everything. So be careful and know the space that you're working with, so everything doesn't become overly, overbearing, and it just becomes a headache, basically. And I'm probably moving all over the place here, but we're gonna get now to be matchy. And I see this a lot as well, where someone just gonna buy the entire suite of the furniture showroom. So you have the bed, the dresser, the nightstands, the chest of drawers. You have it all, and they're all the same, from the same line. And it's overkill. You don't need, you can have pairs are fine. But I think start with your main pieces, your main piece, like your bed, and then just build around that. I don't think everything needs to be matching to the T. Like, it's not necessary, and it's just a very uninteresting and boring and dull, to be honest with you. So, if you do have to happen to have a whole suite of matchy things, no. If you like it, fine, it's fine. But I challenge you to just try to change out a thing or two every now and then. And you don't have to go toss around everything. Or you could just refinish maybe a few of the pieces in a different color, or just something to a different effect in a sense. And to me, it just gives a better, of course, at the end of the day, you want a cohesive space, so it must all speak to each other, but it does not have to be matched all the way out. It's unnecessary. So as we near the end, let's talk about faux, fall, fake. I don't like fake anything much. But sometimes you have to go fake. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's just a more sustainable thing to have, or, it will last you a little bit longer. It's more affordable. Sometimes you do that. But one thing I don't quite get is fake plants, because fake real plants are so cheap. Real plants are really cheap. There are so many more benefits to it. They look so much better. It's good for your ear to clean it, and help your just a better quality of life with having live plants within your home. So I never understood why people like fake plants, and especially the ones that look so fake, like literally you can see the plastic just gleaming. But I would say, guys, get the real plants. It doesn't cost much. It's probably the cheaper than the fake ones. It requires some nurturing and attention, but listen, that's therapeutic as well. That's an even better benefit, to be honest. So if you can, please do get the real ones. And start there at least. Next on the list are those things that we impulse buy. Um, they serve no purpose really. And a lot of times I go into spaces and identify those things that someone just bought. Like, what is the purpose of that thing? It's not art. It's not going to be used for anything. Why did you even bother? Is if you're just going to buy something for the look of it, then don't waste your money. And everything in your home should serve a purpose. And I'm sure you picked it up in the first place because you liked it for whatever reason. But sometimes do stop to question yourself. Is this really what I need? Is this really you're going to suit the purpose that I want it for? Impulse buying, and I know about that. I've committed those sins. It can cost you, and it's just waste. And waste is just not good for nothing at all. And now that we're at the end, I think this is number 10 actually, is I don't know how to nicely put this, but we need to ensure, like all else, that our style transitions with us throughout time. So what you had back in your dorm room have no purpose or no business in your home as an adult. So you of course you want timeless pieces and things that can go on with you forever, but then there are some things that just obviously should have been left in the teenage years. And I think that's this one is hard for me to articulate, but if you see where I'm going with this, I try to avoid those craft store buys. It's just it has that look that says, yeah, my first apartment, my college dorm room. It just looks quite juvenile. So make sure your style is growing up with you, please. But guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And especially during these hard times, it's all fun and games to sit and talk about home decor. I love talking about home decor. I think it's essential to our living. But we're in serious times, and I want to make sure that you're all okay and taking care of yourselves, taking care of your family. I know this thing is, it has no cutoff. It will take anyone with it. So be very careful. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And it's hard. It's very hard to do. It's overbearing because you just don't know what to do. you know, the story changes, but it's just hard times to navigate. So thank you for taking your time out, and I hope this offers some relief from the daily anxiety and stress and anything else that's going on. Thanks very much. I hope to chat with you all soon again. Do like, subscribe, and share. Um, very happy that you stopped by, and I look forward to making and sharing more videos. So, you know, drop me a comment, or if anything you want me to go over, talk about, I'm happy to do so. Ciao. Mwah.